Hi, and thanks for clicking on this video. This is number 3 in the series of 1 Minute Manager Leadership Training. And I hope you watched the last couple of videos. And if you haven't, again, I just urge you to stop this one and play the earlier ones. Check your emails, follow the links, because we are really working to a progression here, and it'd be very helpful for you to sort of follow it in order. If you have watched them, giddy up, well done. I hope you got something out of it so far. And I hope that there's a momentum building with you, because I really believe it takes time to really get stuff. I mean, personally, I can go to training and everything and I get some great ideas, but I don't really get it. I don't get it until I run it through my head again and I see something else and someone talks to me about it, and then I try something and I fail at it, and then try it again, and then finally I start going, I've got this concept, and then I own it. Then it's mine. And that's what this is about, is taking it to step by step, to a point where it kind of filters into your being. So that's who you are now. All right, so that's the reason for this process. It's really important to follow. Okay, so now we're talking about leadership styles. Okay, leadership styles. And when I talk about leadership styles, everyone's got their own style. Everyone has a certain way that they approach the world. They've got their own personality. You can see me, I'm a bit of a showman. I'm very outward focused, quite exuberant and all the rest of it. And that's kind of how I am. So I've got a personality, and you've got a personality, and that's great. And we've got to be true to our personalities, but we have to temper our personalities and apply another aspect to it when we're leading others, so that our personalities have a number of different shades to them, depending on the situation that we're dealing with and the person that we're dealing with. So when it comes to the 1 Minute Manager series, there were 4 distinct leadership styles, which matches with the 4 development levels. Okay, so we have, of course, the first one, which is a very directive approach. All right, and it makes a lot of sense that we spell things out to people when they start in our businesses. All right, so if you're not a directive person usually, and you usually like to sort of be far more subtle, then that's an element of your personality you're going to have to just adjust and get used to adjusting. The second style that we've talked about is a coaching style, and a coaching style is less direct and a bit more supportive. All right, so it's got a supportive element, and personally, that's been a strong style for me. A lot of the people I speak to, they say, hey, that's a strong style for me. That's what I do. I train and I teach other people and stuff, and I really get a lot out of that, which is great. The third style is very much about support. It's about giving people enough rope so that they can make mistakes, albeit within a parameter, and obviously with your risk being measured and assessed, and potentially learn with your guidance. Okay, so you're still there, you've still got the safety net below them, but they can actually sort of stumble a little bit, and you can pick them up and show them what they did wrong and work it through with them. And then the last style that we use is a delegative. When you delegate, all right, you basically know that you can actually rely on people to do the job for you. Now, obviously, if a new staff member starts and you're using a delegate style, then it's not going to work very well, is it? Because that person's going to sit there frozen in fear, wondering, I'll try to, I don't know what he's talking about, I'll do the best I can, and literally they'll be terrified. And I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where someone's going to say, yeah, you go off, and you just do that, fix that up for me, and you're just thinking, he hasn't given me, or she hasn't given me any instruction whatsoever. So it doesn't meld, doesn't it? It disconnects. Same thing when you've got a person who is maybe a very proficient person, maybe they're up there in what we call the D3s and D4s, and you're giving very specific instruction because you like to spell things out to people. You like people to be really clear on all the detail, but they know the detail. That's called micromanaging, okay? And people hate it. If you're an experienced person and you've got some competence in the role, or high confidence in the role, and someone's standing over your shoulder, a new manager potentially, or a new boss or whatever, or even a colleague saying, oh, this is the way I do it, here's the steps, and you did that wrong, and change that around, you'd just be like, oh, throttle these people. So we know that the wrong style for the wrong development level doesn't work, okay? So we need to be able to adjust our approach depending on the people that we're dealing with. So what stops us from doing that? What stops us? What stops you? Well, I can tell you right now, where most people feel most comfortable is when telling new staff what to do and training newish staff what to do, all right, or showing them what to do, right? Which is basically D1 and D2. That's where most managers, most leaders are comfortable. New managers, new leaders, I should say, and some old ones, right? Why is that, do you think? Why are we more comfortable, or why are you more comfortable, telling someone what to do who's new, or training and coaching? I'll give you what I think, and I think it's because when you're actually working with people of a higher level of skill or competence, you now start to feel a little bit threatened, and you start to think, well, maybe they know better than me, and you actually start to question yourself. Am I sure enough of myself? Am I confident enough to do this? And also you might be questioning, can they actually do it? Am I going to make a big mistake by giving them this sort of responsibility? Most managers tend to stick with those first two echelons, D1s, D2s, or directive and coaching modalities. All right. So I'm going to suggest that you may already be quite good at these. If you're not, then forget what I just said. But if you are, the challenge is going to be, how do you apply yourself to those people who are quite good, who you have kind of a little bit forgotten about, and how do you now take them to that next level and just bring out the best of them? You know what this takes? It takes courage. That's what it takes. It takes a willingness to step out of yourself, to be bigger than you thought you, or than you currently think you are, and we all struggle with this, to be a person who can stand eye to eye with someone who is already very good and say, you know what, how I think you can be better. You know what I think it would take for you to be running this place one day, or owning your own business, or running the department. Here's what I think, and this is what I'd like you to do, and here's something I'd like you to do for me. When you have those sort of conversations, they become better because you're seeing the potential in them and they react to that. You become better because you're now really working level to level with a person with their perspective in mind to help serve them and take them to where maybe they could be. They didn't even know they didn't have it in their mind, but maybe you saw it. Okay, so that's the challenge. Find the courage. All of these things take courage. Confronting any staff member or doing something you've never done before always takes courage. But you need to find the courage and stretch the comfort zones if you are to progress. You need to find the fire, step up to the plate, and make it happen if you're to go where you want to go, if you're to see things that you want to see. If you don't, and if we don't as individuals, we just kind of end up on the wheel. Running, doing the same thing, blaming our staff, same thing, having people leave, having to replace them, same thing. No one enjoys that. Why not play a bigger game? There's the challenge for this week. Sorry it's a little bit deep, but sometimes we've got to go there. And look forward to catching you next week. Be courageous.